Hello, I hope you're good. Continuing with our shadow work in politics series. Today we are continuing with our Politics with Friends part 3, discussing leaving friendships due to politics. This topic is precisely why it is advised, or it is ill advised rather, to not discuss politics with friends. But I disagree. I think this topic is exactly why you should discuss politics with friends, because sometimes your friend is really your enemy, and you're not going to know that until you get to know their politics, because their politics will shock you and disturb you and make you realize that this is not a person you should be calling friend. Why you leave politics due to friendships can vary, right? For some people, it's because they are emotionally immature and they just can't handle someone holding a different view to them. And when you bring up politics, people are going to have different views on different topics because we are all human beings perceiving life differently. And if you are emotionally immature, you can't stand the disagreement on any aspect. And so you will leave because of the act of disagreement, not necessarily because of the substance of the views expressed. Another facet of why people leave their friendships due to politics is because of the substance of the views that their friends hold. So not only do you disagree with your friend, but what they actually think politically is so offensive to you that you cannot call this person your friend. I'll give an example. Let's say you are still in apartheid South Africa. You are a white person, and your white friend agrees with what was then considered the terrorist organization called the ANC, who had the audacity to want black people to have equal rights, both civilly and to have the vote. To you, as a racist, which was just the typical white person of the time in South Africa, you would have been so offended by this rhetoric that you may have stopped being friends with that person and even perhaps reported them to the police, because having certain views in apartheid South Africa was literally illegal. Hence, certain organizations and political movements were termed terrorist organizations because they contradicted the views of the state. When you have conversations with your friends about politics, you will really get to know them in a way that you didn't know them before. And some people should not be your friends. They are actually dangerous to who you are. They are dangerous to your person, and they are dangerous to other people. Another example could be that you're having a conversation with your friend who is pro pedophilia. They think that children should be having sex with adults and that there should be no laws to protect children from these predators, these disgusting predators. This should be a view to cause you to cut a friendship with somebody because your children are not safe around that person. Other people's children are not safe around that person. Now, you may be an adult and you may be safe around that person, but understanding what your friend does in the privacy of their home, what they condone through their actions and their perspectives, should cause you to stop being friends with that person. Now, obviously, I'm not trying to sway you against or towards certain views. I have my own politics, and perhaps we can have the conversation as friends. Or perhaps the conversation would end our friendship. Either way, it is important to discuss politics with friends because you truly get to know people when you get to know their views. If you don't know their political views, you do not know the people. You don't know that your friend is a pedophile who would rather be married to a teenage girl or a prepubescent girl rather than an adult woman until you have that conversation, until you see that they are lobbying the state to get laws passed that allow them to do these disgusting things to helpless, vulnerable minors. You will never know that if you are polite and well mannered and you don't have conversations with friends and you don't engage in politics with friends. Now, in today's topic, we are obviously discussing leaving friendships due to politics, and I am saying that this is a good thing. Although traditionally we have been taught that this is why you shouldn't discuss politics because it will end your friendship, some things should end your friendship. Some things should end your friendship because you should not be friends with everybody. Not everybody should be your friends. And sometimes their political views show you that you should leave that friendship instead of continuing to be friends with someone who is a danger to yourself or to other people.